carry on. Don't worry about that. I was just talking about Carl Babbs's report that he put on about the game. So I'm going to carry on going through that, and you can nod and shake your head when you can. I know you can hear me. Anyway, so he was talking. A few talking points is what he was talking about. He was talking about Joel Ward or Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Joel was lucky to stay on the pitch. Another ref would have sent him off in the first half, let alone that awful challenge at the end. That aside, he looked out of his depth and clearly lacks pace. I honestly think it was a wrong call from Roy to play him, says Carl Babbs. That said, the abuse Ward received from the away end was disgraceful. How can abusing your own player even help? So he was getting slagged off by the Palace fans, is what he was saying. Joel, can you everybody out there? Can you actually hear Joel? Joel, speak.
I can hear you.
You can hear me, okay? So I wonder what it is. It might even be my headphones. Hang on a second. Joel, speak.
What about now? Now?
Right, there you go. I'm on. Keep going, mate.
Now?
Hello? You're right. I can hear you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
good.
I'm fine, mate. Right, so then he was going on about talking about the 4-4-2 setup. He said it wasn't a surprise that Roy stuck with the same shape. And it has served us well many times this season, and the pace of the front two unsettled defences. Their unpredictability acts as a great threat. What we saw, though, is that if you cut off the supply lines, they'll be really up against it. So with no natural width, Palace had no outlet and simply couldn't build. He's obviously talking about the first half here, Jill. At half-time, he made a subtle change. I'd have preferred that we made the change after 15 minutes. Fortunately, we got away with it. Arsenal away, waiting until half-time was too late. By that point, we were already 4-0 down. Go on, John. Go on, John.
No. People are just saying hello.
Okay.
I'm just saying hello as they go through.
Roy obviously doesn't trust the subs that he's got. Otherwise, he would have changed it beforehand. First came Benteke, surprisingly for Jimmy Mack, and I thought Jimmy Mack was having a good game as well. Benteke's involvement was to win a header that set up the Zaha chance. Several times he relieved the pressure and recycled the ball to a Palace player, which is very valid. Personally, he said he would have made it earlier and brought on Aaron Wan-Bissaka because Richarlison and the other guy, whatever his name is, I can't remember his name now, had Joel Ward in their pocket. So not our best performance yet. Frustratingly, we should have won. A point apiece is probably about right. His man of the match was Tom Kings, and I agree with that, who seems to get his head to everything. Respect the points and come you Palace. So that was from Carl Babbs. I'm going to put the other headphone in just to make sure I can hear you, okay? My brother says, he's put my birthday card in the post. Yeah, thanks, Simon. Cheers, mate. Idiot. Right, Mr. Holyoke, thank you for joining me at such short notice, because obviously I know you weren't coming on. So your overall impression of the game, just do a quick cameo of the whole thing, and then we'll go into bits and pieces of it.
They smashed us up the first 45 minutes. Should have been leading. I thought we were lucky to be 0-0. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, they proper roughed us up. I was a little bit surprised. I mean, they're quite a physical side anyway, but they're this obsession they have with Wilf is just ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous, and I still wouldn't have even said anything at that guy, whoever it was that made that 40-yard run or 30-yard run to Wilf and then pushed him and then kept doing that.
The diving bit action, yeah.
I would have chinned him. I wouldn't care. I literally wouldn't care. I would have just chinned him. That's ridiculous. There is no way in a million years that he's going to do that to Hazard or any other or to Dele Alli if he comes out against them. It's just a fiasco the way they treat him. But anyway, I mean, he's had Watford on a string for a few years now. Always will. It always has. Always will. So, but yeah. I said before, I would have been happy with a point. I've been saying all week, happy with a point.
Absolutely right. Me too.
I just turned into some horrible little club, Watford. They really have sort of changed and I don't know. But anyway,
I think a lot of it, Joe, honestly, I think a lot of it is because we've had it over them on some important games over the last couple of seasons. Don't forget the playoff final and King Kev Phillips and that sort of stuff. And it was Zaha that went down in the box. So, by the way, I can see you all saying good evening to me.
But there was a penalty.
I mean, we're going to come on. There was a
final.
Yeah, there was. Richard Harvey saying the most foul player in the league is Wilf Zaha. Yeah, we're going to come on to all that in a second. Always Wilf. Yeah, you're right, Paul. So, first, before we get on to the first half, I just wanted to Simon's words there are quite right. Their fans are such. I can't do that because I have to put a pound in the swear box every time I swear, Simon. So I'm not doing it. Line-up, Jill. Exactly the same as Philpott's player prediction, with the exception of Warden and Wan-Bissaka again. So we started the game with no out-and-out striker. Do you like it or do you hate it?
I like it. Like I said, the funniest thing that I've seen on Twitter in the last probably 2 months, and I've seen it again in the last week, is who would you rather have up front, Benteke or a bin? And I'm like, I'd have a bin. Seriously, at least you're going to get a 1-2 off it. I just
right. I'm going to come back at you. I haven't done it before.
No.
Let me come back to you, okay, and then I'll let you respond. Okay, the bloke who's wearing red and blue, the bloke is our £27 million striker. Should the Palace fans be having a pop? Should we be binning or should we be loving him? Should we be stroking him?
You pay your money. You take your choice. The club have paid their money, took their choice on a player, and our fans go and watch him, and they have every right to boo him. All this about being a better fan, bollocks. Just, if you think he's crap, you tell him he's crap. Pull his socks up. All the geezers, what's all that, and knees, and... we haven't score goals. That's all we want to do. Just want him to score goals. Don't care about him, doing whatever he does outside the moody, what is he going on with his clothes?
Yeah.
It just, anyway, I don't care. Listen, we pay him handsomely. As much money as we've ever paid anybody in the entire history of our club, and he has been. I'm not going to say he has been woeful, absolutely woeful. And then you look back at the times where we've had strikers that have only scored 5, 6, 7 goals in a season, and then you turn around and slate them, and people think Benteke is above criticism. I've just seen, to carry on with this, but I've just seen Ben, and he said, as he had the service. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever that is, whatever service is these days, someone did the stat, 22 golden opportunities and climbing. So, that summed up for me the other day, the Brighton game, when we all, well, not all of us, but a lot of people inside the grounds sung his name when he come on, and that would really, if it helps me out to give me a proper buzz. I thought, crikey, I'm really going to.
They did it again yesterday. They did it again yesterday.
It's scandalous the amount of chances these are. Like I said, I just can't believe that we're not. We're trying not to play hoofball at the moment, and I can't believe we haven't given the kid a go, James Daly. I mean, Ryan Matthew's story said we need one more point. Just get the kid up front. And let our players give him the service along the floor. That's where a lot of the stuff's coming from now. So
evening, Celeste. Good evening.
I've absolutely, I'm done with him. I'm absolutely done with him. So, and we almost had no choice, did we, but to play Aaron Bissaka. We had no choice but to play him. Otherwise, we was going to be playing a left back at right back or a centre back at right back. And look what he's done. He came in, grabbed it with both hands against the 3 of the top 4 or 5 sides in a row, and played out of his skin. He had a couple of real good international players in his pocket, and then as soon as Ward has half a game in the 23s, he's back to nicking his place back, completely undeserved. Completely undeserved.
Look what Ben just said here. Look what Ben just said here.
I can't see it.
He said he came on and he created, when Benteke came on, he created a chance straight away.
With Benteke?
Yep.
Or Or Bissaka?
No, Benteke. It was Benteke's header that put Zaha through.
Right.
Okay, so that's
right.
So that's what
Did he score?
No,
Did he score? He didn't score, did he? I'm interested in. I'm interested. You know,
well, just
goals,
to recap,
big
guys,
money and goals, mate. He gets big money and we get 0 goals.
I know. In case anybody's in any doubt here, folks, and there's now 6 of you are watching. Hello and thank you for joining Red and Blue News. We're chuffed that you're here. Honestly,
thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. And in case anybody missed it, Gill's still a little bit on the fence about Christian Benteke. He's not too sure which way his love goes for it. Okay, he's got splinters on his arse. Okay, and he's drinking his milk. And another shut up, Phil Pot, and get on with it. Right, first half. Okay, lots of early Watford pressure. Agree. Okaka, I think his name is Okaka. Good header from a Deeney cross onto the woodwork. And Ward.
Well, he set the goal up. He set the chance up himself, didn't he? He gave it to Deeney, and then immediately launched himself into the box. Deeney then fired in a cross, and the geezer got on the end of his own. Setup, really. Great header. Deserved better, to be honest with you. Had NSC standing still, and he had Tompkins was nowhere near him at all. So yeah, good chance. Unlucky for the fella.
And also, I haven't got that many notes on the first half. What's that say? Let's just put this to bed. Benteke is not very good, says Dick Turpin. Okay. Listen, Jill already owes a swear pot. £3, Dick. Okay. So please stop encouraging him to swear, will you? So he's already £3 down this evening. Okay. So Ward getting pulled apart by Pereira resulted in a very early booking for Ward. Talk to me about Joel Ward's performance, Jill.
Well, he got skinned. Like I said, I gave him the benefit of the doubt against Brighton because I thought he was up against a very, very good, tricky winger. But, it didn't matter who was up against him. They had the beating of him. So, for me, it's too soon for him. And Bissaka was, he made one mistake. He made one mistake. I just can't get my head around how you can just drop. This has always been the trouble with our club. I remember Pardew doing it with I can't remember his name now, the centre midfielder, the left foot kid that went to Plymouth, I think. He gave him half, whatever. He gave him a. Who's
Jill trying to get to, folks? 57 of you out there. Who is Jill talking about?
Okay, but anyway, and then we never saw him again. It's just it's scandalous, really. Try the kids. We are near enough. We're near enough there, and I think the kids will give us the end of season where some of the players are tired. They'll give us that little bit of impetus. It's a bit like for me. I had a great thing that the Bournemouth manager said. But when he brings on these players, he expects them. He brings on substitute. He expects them to change the game, and they are. That's a good call, Ben Boateng. Yeah, and they change the game. Our subs don't really, when they get on, don't really change the game. So I think what we need to do is to get a bit ballsy, and Andy Stacey, Broly, yeah. I think we need to get a little bit ballsy, and I think it will stand him in good stead. I really do.
Did you see what Ian says on there? He said, "I don't think Bissaka was dropped." He thinks it's Roy just taking him out of the firing line. It's possible.
But it's the Premier League. Every game's a firing line. I don't understand it. So what they do, they drop him, right? They take him out. They take him away from the starting lineup, which he had played incredibly well, and then give him a new contract, and then extend his contract.
Yeah.
So I can just,
I'm absolutely delighted for him as well.
Football astounds me sometimes in people's decisions, but the only other thing about it is if he's injured and he's carrying a knock or you never know. But what I like about Roy is he does talk through the decisions and stuff with his with Lewington, who I've got a lot of respect for.
Michael Huntington saying, if Bissaka is playing badly, I can understand why Ward would be playing. But as he said, one mistake, and as Jill said, one mistake and he was dropped. Ward just hasn't been the same for whatever reasons for a number of seasons now. At one point, we were calling for him to play for England. And again, valid point again.
Well, there was a few people calling him for him to play for England, but he ain't. He's not England class. That's delusional. If that's delusional, I'm sorry. Even though I don't really like Kyle Walker, you're trying to tell me he's better than Kyle Walker? No, he's not even in the same league.
No way.
No, not even. He's not even in the same country as him. Yet in the same league. But yeah, listen. Like I said, I have no. I'm not delusional about our players. You know, we've probably got a fair few players that are internationals. But what we need now is a team of 21 or 20 to 27-year-olds. That's what we need. You know, fit, raring to go, proper. You know, not people looking for a big buck at the end of their career. You know, to kick on now, we need to be getting players in who.
But we touched on it. Well, we touched on it last week, didn't we? How many? So many out of contract at the end of the season. We're going to see a huge. In fact, I could see me and you, big fella, doing a show dedicated to ins and outs, contracts up at the end of the season. I could see us doing at least one show over the summer break, just dedicated to transfers in and out. Because I know we touched on it. Let's move on to the end of the first half. For Will's first half penalty shout, Jill. Carnegie's tugging at his shirt as he into the box. What did you think? Was it a penalty?
I just watched it. It's one of them ones. Whereas if he had a Man United shirt on, or if he had a top 4 shirt on, there's half a chance he could have got something. But to be honest with you, the thing about Wilf, he's so fast, and that was at the end of that run, the players grabbed hold of his shirt, and if you look at it at the very last second, he does push him as well. But Wilf is looking to go down. It ain't a dive, but he is looking. He is looking for the contact, feels the contact, and goes down. Which is what, which is, no one says anything about Pochettino when he turns around and says, if you to any of these players, you feel contact, you dive, don't care. And that's the other thing about it. There's some of these managers, they're just going, I don't care. I've told them, get in the area, get a penalty, don't care. So, and that's what these players do. So, and then the scandalous decision for the yellow card. I mean, it's probably one of the worst decisions I've seen this season. I mean, look, there was contact from the side, right? There was full contact from the front, right? Was it Mariappa? Was it Mariappa that kicked him? No, Mariappa was just going around hoofing our players the whole game.
So we're doing a second half penalty now, are we? Okay, right.
But no, yeah, but listen. So I just want to skip to the. I don't really want to go to Wilkes non-penalty, and then the one that was a penalty, but there was 3 parts to that. He got it from the side, he got it from the front, and then one of their players handballed it. That's completely been overlooked. There was
actually, I didn't pick that up. So it was.
Have a look at the end of the play. Have a look at the end of the play.
I didn't pick that up. So it was 19 Hughes clatters him from behind or the side, as you quite rightly put it. Then Mariappa clips him. How's that not a penalty on his own? But I didn't see the handball. I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, and then the players land on the floor and he holds his arms out like that. It's not even like down by his side. I mean, the referee just had a mere game. It is like whatever Cat B, Cat C game for the Premier League.
Yeah,
and they've given it to I don't know. They've just given it to some Joe who must have been some full kit wanker on a tube train. Just gone struggling for a ref today.
£4. £4. Right, Paul Rundle asked you a question. He wants to ask you a question. May I ask you guys on Gio, Lameka and Lakilo, could they be bought in at some point soon? Obviously, it would depend on our position in the league and everything else. But you're advocating bringing in some youngsters. You've seen a little bit about Lakilo and Lameka. What do you think?
I haven't seen loads about Lameka, but I know that he's full of running. Well, that's the whole idea of it, isn't it? Centre forwards, running fast, strutting the ball down. So, and Lakilo, what I liked about him, what I saw, and I only saw the tournament his pre-season tournament is that when he picked the ball up, he headed the way that we all want him to go, towards the goal. So I'm just amazed. What's the matter?
I just read what Michael Middleton said. £4 gel going well.
Yeah, don't worry.
That's why we have him on here, folks.
I don't know. It annoys me, but like I say, I mean, the big decision for the club at the end of this season is about who they're not going to let stay at the club. Now the thing is, if we keep, just say for instance, we keep all those players that are in this squad now, right? It's not viably financial for the club, because we've maxed out, the financial fair play. We are maxed out on it, and that's why we can't get any big players. So we've got to have players go out, and a lot of players. But I hope that we can bring in, some 2 or 3 or 4 young players. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure I saw a training picture. These marvellous pictures that the club likes to post on Twitter of Nye Kirby training with the first team. That would be that would be great to see. It just reminded me of of when Bostock come through and he was supposed to be the big the next big thing. But I'm hoping now that we've got someone in charge who likes to actually act on that instead of just moaning about it when they get nicked off us. So, but yeah, I'm just. I think at this 24, 25 that we've got now, I think you can probably see minimum 7 to 8 of them going. Okay, well, Benteke has to be one of them.
On that really. Subject, then, your colleague towards the end of the show, Ben, wants to come on and discuss transfers, and he wants to have the right of reply about Benteke. So that'll be quite an interesting conversation. Nigel Croucher actually pointed out, what planet was Kevin Kilbane on Match of the Day last night? Planet deluded, ex-player, the same planet as Jason Cundy. Cundy the cock lives on. Okay, now some of you will be aware that I had a bit of a spat with Jason Cundy the other night, live on Talk Sport, because the guy was talking disrespectfully about 2 of our players, telling me live on air on Talk Sport, and I did have a chirp at him back that Will Zaha and Luka Milivojevic are too good for Palace. Okay, well, I'm glad to say, and it's available for you to go back and listen. Those of you who haven't heard it, I was being interviewed with reference to something that happened for the Brighton game last week, and he started having a chirp. And I said to him, I'm sorry, pal, but you are disrespectful. And Nigel was saying on here, Kevin Kilbane was talking the same sort of crap last night. It's something to do with the ex-players union. And Dave Martin said, he's your mate, isn't he, Nick? No, he bloody ain't my mate. Simon Philpott was also asking a question a minute ago that I thought was, he said, what would happen if Wilf gets a booking now, his 10th booking now, and gets banned for the last game of the season because the ref screwed it up? I think he's on.
There's no right of reply. There's no right of reply, is there, for yellow cards? No. You can't appeal yellow cards, which is ridiculous. Like, absolutely stupid that is. So you can appeal a red, but you can't appeal a yellow. So anyone can just wind him up now, aren't they? So
I think he's on.
Andy
Boyle, he's on.
Go on.
Sorry, I was just saying. I think he's on 9 now. I'm not certain, but I'm not even certain that's correct. Sean Feeney has asked us to mention his charity game. Sean, if you're listening, text me the details and I'll read it out live on air. Okay, not a problem, because you're all aware of Sean's charity football match that he's putting together. He's doing a sterling job. And thank you for the stats that we've got, because we have got a load of stats. Second half, Jill. Move on to the second half.
I just need to reply to Andy Boyle, because he's put a comment up here, and Andy's obviously just come back from the pub after being there since 11 o'clock this morning. He said Benteke is a Palace player. Okay, so we'll just put that down to the drink on a Sunday, Andy, and we'll move on.
I think his point is that because he's a Palace player, maybe we shouldn't be having a chirp at him. I may be wrong, but maybe that's what you're talking about.
Well, we're not allowed to say anything.
Simon Cribb is saying we should rest Wilf versus Stoke. They'll be after him big time.
Well, Richard Little's just around and said yellows don't count anymore. I don't see.
How can that be?
I don't know. I don't know. But
Colin,
anyway,
yes, I did see the response to Cunley's childish response. Yes, I did, Colin. And thank you for everybody that chirped in and also had a response on my behalf. It was appreciated. Nice to be loved. Right, second half. Wilf's, where were we? Second half. Wilf's challenge on their keeper, Canizes. Great interchange on the left between PVA, Macca and Wilf. Wilf goes through, takes the goalkeeper out with his right foot. Should he have seen red?
Yellow. Should have got a yellow for it, but the keeper dies, doesn't he? Until the referee, until he realises that he's not going to get nothing's going to happen. You know, he's not going to get sent off. And I mean, idiots in the crowd are, you know, off. It's like 17th century England that are beheading. They just. Hey, listen, any fans? I've seen Watford fans on the internet, and they're vegetables to game. Not good. I can't even listen to people like them. But yeah, no. I mean, any other time, he probably would have got. It was a card. To be honest with you, it was a card. I'm not going to put rose-tinted glasses on and say it wasn't. You know,
I agree.
But he ain't broke his ribs, is he? That's the thing. He's not gone in there and smashed him. He's not gone in there and done a Dawson, has he, on Speroni? You know, let's face it.
No,
He's the keeper a chance to have a little roll around and dive and pretend like all his pals do out on all the outfield players. So,
Russell Baker thinks, he said, I think the yellow card limit doesn't count anymore for a suspension. And Andy Boyle's come back and said, Russell Baker, you are correct. Paul Glant said it was the Zaha's challenge was 50-50.
Lord Paul Glance, that is.
Is that Lord Paul Glance?
Lord Paul Glance.
Right, okay, so moving on. The next chance that we had was Lucas' free kick outside the box. Great strike.
Well, I mean, we already pretty much knew, didn't we, from that free kick against that whistle just by the post that we'd found our new free kick taker.
Yeah.
We already knew anyway. Didn't he scored one, didn't he, in that pre-season tournament? I'm pretty sure he went over the wall into the bottom corner. I'm sure he did. But anyway, yeah, I mean, yeah. So we have found the man now at free kicks. So
we have.
And I said to you last week, didn't I, that I thought he had the capability of going like Beckham used to, shape up to go to the keeper's left, you know, the top right-hand corner, but
put it the other side,
the other way. And that's exactly what he did, which completely, you know, caught the goalkeeper off. Had it been another 8 inches lower, the keeper wouldn't have got that because they had actually hit the post before he got there.
Colin said it was against West Bromwich Albion in that pre-season friendly you just alluded to.
Yes, that was right. Yeah, when they tried to.
Great knowledge, Carl.
To smash us to pieces out there as well, wasn't it? Yeah, out in America. But yeah, Luca he's just grown, and he's just grown into what people probably saw. You know, our scouts probably saw. But yeah, just
Paul's talking to you in case you haven't seen it.
No, I know. That's what he calls us, servants. Know your place. He showed me his credit card once. He pulled a credit card out and he's got Lord Paul Glance written on it.
Really? We are now, according to Andrew Varley, we are now 40-1 to go down. I think it's got to be pretty shocking. It's got to be a worse set of results to the olden days from all those years ago, for those of you who are old enough to remember it, especially with today's results all going our way. For those that you haven't seen today's results, Arsenal 4, West Ham 1. So we've been now climbing above them. Man City, how many was it? 5. Swansea 0. Stoke 1, Burnley 1. The results have gone our way. We haven't kicked a ball. and we've gone up a place in the league. So long may that continue.
We went up a place, because West Ham got thumped, didn't they?
Yeah, so we went up.
So have we gone above them now?
Yep, we have. Above Huddersfield yesterday, now above West Ham today. So Will's second penalty shout, I know we've touched on it. So it was Hughes that clattered into him from behind. Mariappa then clips in, and now you're telling me it was a bloody handball to boot, which I never did see. And that was Stonewall, wasn't it? I think we all agree that was Stonewall.
Well, everyone's turned around and said it was a Stonewall. The first one he stumbled, and then his momentum took him over, which obviously incensed the natives, so they got it in for him. And then, of course, he goes down again, and they're all bitching behind the goal, puts it on the referee. The ref's got to do one or two things, hasn't he? He has either got to give the penalty, which it was, and he didn't, or he's got to card him. And he carded him, and then they're all jumping up and down like they've, like they've won a tenner on the lottery.
There's 62 of you out there. I want a quick yes from all of those that this applies to. At Red and Blue News 1, who has followed us on at Red and Blue News 1, and who has liked our YouTube channel? Say yes, Nick. Go. Right, and then while you're all doing that, we're gonna the next chance came from a Tompkins header from a Johan Cabaye corner. Unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit. I thought, that chance we had at the end of the first half. I know we're now in the second half now, but I thought that was Kelly that came in for that at the far. I didn't realise, because I've got bad eyes anyway. I watched it on telly and I thought, there's no beard. Where's the beard gone? And then all of a sudden, it shows up that his Tompkins has had a proper shave. So he just looks a threat every time, doesn't he? Like I say, he had his best chance in the first half, and then he had another, that thumping header which hit the post. That Macca was unlucky that he didn't.
I know.
He tried to get on it as he turned through it and knock it in, but yeah, I mean, he just has been an inspirational, sensational buy, I think. Up there with Luca for me. But seriously,
did you see the stupid thing I did on Thursday or Friday when somebody just mentioned my Philpott's player predictions? I got my Tompkins and my just like you did. You mixed the two of them up. Tompkins and Kelly. On my player predictions, I meant Tompkins. Of course, I said Kelly. Okay, like a prat. But everybody knew that I meant Tompkins because I said it's an unchanged back four. And Kelly was in there, but I didn't. I said Tompkins. That's why I meant Tompkins, and it said it was Kelly. And I kicked it, and you've just done the same bloody thing. You've just done exactly the same thing.
And then Summer Kearson's just popped one out and said exactly what I was about to say. And that any game that Sacco and Tompkins have played together, they haven't lost.
Actually, Summer's quite right. Actually, there is that. Okay, but there's also another
10 times.
Was it 10 times?
Yeah, I've got the stat here.
Go on.
They've won 7, drawn 3, conceded 7 goals. Conceded 7 goals in 898 minutes. That's a good stat, Michael Dennis Middleton. Excellent stat.
Thank you for those stats, guys. And thank you for all that. And thank you for all those yes nicks. Leslie Fuller saying working on it. Leslie, that's because you're old, mate. Okay, a bit like me. So you don't know how to push the like button and the share button. I get that. You're forgiven, mate. But we still love you anyway. Right. Okay. So we've done the Cabaye corner. Tompkins hitting the post. Then there was the late challenge from Joel Ward on Hollybass. How lucky was he to stay on the pitch?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were many moody tackles yesterday. And some of them were from us. But it was. If he'd have gone, no one would have turned around and said anything, would they? It just would have been. Well, he deserved that. Now have a break and get Bissaka back in. I did see someone put on Twitter, and I'm sure they said it with their tongue firmly stuck in their cheek that they were a little bit gutted that it wasn't a red. Because he would have missed the next 3 games and Bissaka would have played anyway. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it should have been a red card. And but like I say, I think the referee had some big decisions yesterday to make, and he bottled. Oh no, he didn't bottle them. He just got them wrong. He got them wrong.
Could I just quickly jump in and say hello to somebody who's, I don't know if you noticed, is on there with us, Joe, a very good friend of ours, Mr. P. O'Connor from New York. Patrick O'Connor. How are you, buddy? I hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you on here, mate. Ben has asked us to touch on, I think, is there much more to talk about the game? Not really, was there? Both penalties, red card maybe for 2 bookings for Wilf, possibly. We're up to 14th now, 35 points. Do you think we're safe?
I do think we're safe now. Yeah, I really do. But I mean, it's the Palace way, isn't it? Just to be the last few years, just to struggle. So, yep. But luckily, we've had just enough, and we've just got our players right. You know, we've got our players back at the right time. You know, I mean, if we can just do one more thing before the season ends, and that is finished. If we can just finish above Brighton, right?
Yeah, I was looking at the same thing. Just have bragging rights.
It would be. It would. I mean, they just can't say anything. So if we finish above them, and we gave them literally a 7-goal, whatever points they had after 7 games, I don't know. Some of you guys will know. But if we can do that and finish above them, I mean, that really would be quite a bit of a...
Well, they've still got to play Liverpool, Man United, Burnley.
That's the last game of the season, these.
What?
Yeah. Their last game of the season is Liverpool away.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Have they played Spurs? Oh, yeah, they played Spurs the other night, didn't they? So they've still got to play Burnley, Burnley, Man United and Liverpool. That's what they've got left to play. And Martin Bashford, she said, we're safe. Oldham, ? It's a bigger equation than that, Paul. It's a bigger equation than that. It's worse. It would have to be worse than that.
Can I just? We've just got something come up on the screen here.
I know. Over to you.
I need to allude to it because Paul is just Paul's one of our friends, one of the elderly gentlemen that sits at the back of Block E at Lower Holmesdale, and some of you might know some of the posts if you follow me on Twitter, and some of the other guys that have mentioned. And there is a post on the Holmesdale.net about a guy called Alan Eagle One. There's one of our friends called Alan Uren, and unfortunately, Alan, the last game he saw was the Brighton game, and on the way home he had an accident, and he passed away yesterday. He never came, he didn't really come around to it, and it was really tugged at the heartstrings because I didn't know Alan for that many years. You know, I knew him for a few years, but he just was a genuinely nice guy, and I don't know, he was good friends with Paul Glance and Tony Johnston and his family, and I don't know that it's a tight knit bunch. There's a couple of guys that come up from the West Coast for Palace games that got season tickets, and when they didn't come up, I was offered those tickets.
Joe, you seem to have dropped out, mate. I can't see you now. If you're still there, request to come back on, please. While we're waiting for Gel to come back. Oh, Gel's there. Sorry, mate. That was your internet. Gel, stay there. You're coming back on.
I'm back.
You're back. So, Simon, sorry, you were doing your bit about Alan.
Yeah, I got to know Alan obviously through those tickets, and obviously become friends with other people around that, around the area. It's a real choker, because he was Palace through and through, absolutely through and through. And his son Dean came over for games from Australia to go, to see games with him, and it's a massive loss, and like I say, I know people that are better friends with him than me, and I'm absolutely gutted. Like I say, Palace have lost a good one, but the last thing that Alan would have probably known, unfortunately, it didn't. Probably wouldn't have been his family at the time, but was us beating Brighton 3-2, and he saw that game,
and died not long after it.
Yeah. Well, Paul just turned around and said that he would have been, if his abiding memory was we finish above them, but we beat them anyway for him. So, but rest in peace, Al.
And more importantly, rest in peace, Alan. I didn't know Alan, folks. I didn't know Alan, but I do know that this was somebody particularly close to Gel's heart. And Gel, you have my condolences. And looking at the screen, you have a lot of people's condolences. So well done for coming on. We appreciate you coming on. You didn't need to do that tonight, but you decided to do it anyway. So thanks again, mate. Are you okay to answer a couple of questions? I have some questions for you.
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah, let's go on. Yeah.
Here we go. Right, okay.
Save me blubbing. I thought I was going to go. But
I won't let you. I'm sending you a man hug, all right? Right, okay. First of all, your thoughts on planning permission given to Villa Newstead, please.
Well, it's just, it's the next, it's another step, isn't it? It's another step for Parish of what he's doing with the club. Like I said, I've never been a Parish apologist, and some of the stuff he's done is wrong. He's had a pair of balls and put his hands up to it and said, if I told you everything I've done wrong, you'd all be going completely mental instead of just. So, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. What I did like was that picture someone put up of the pitch view of the stand looking up, and it does look magnificent. I mean, I'm just glad that that stands with the next one for me. I've seen two. I've seen two stands go so far. I've seen the old White Horse disappear and the Sainsbury's then go in. I see the old Holmesdale, the terrace there go and see the Holmesdale stand go in. And then hopefully I'll be around to get to see that one. And then, hopefully it will, in the next 5 or 10 years, we can sort the Arthur out and make it a proper big ground without losing the atmosphere. So, but yeah, he's done well.
He has done well. The strangest thing, and I'm going to I don't know how much you've actually, the detail you saw, because that for the other lot, I went to the press launch, right? Okay. Cole Davis is on. Hi, Cole. Good evening, mate. Welcome on. I hope you had a good day at Wembley, dude. The bit I'm really looking forward to, yes, that stand's going to look spectacular with its arch and everything else, and the glass fascia from the other side. But what I don't know if a lot of people realise is the two corners. So the corner from the old stand to the White Horse and the corner from the old stand to the Holmesdale is being encircled in two glass circular buildings for all the offices and everything else. And it's going to maintain the sound inside the ground by holding the sound in there. It's just going to be, I never thought I'd see them break ground in my lifetime to doing that game, and I am immensely proud of everybody connected with Croydon Council. Fair play to them. Steve Parish and the team, well done to them. The architects, well done to them. I still, I won't believe it until I see a bloody JCB in.
Well, I still think it has to go in front of two. I still think it has to go in front of two people. It has to go in front of the mayor, but it's a Labour council. He's a Labour mayor, so he should rubber stamp it. And then I think it has to go to the Secretary of State. I'm pretty sure it has to go out in front of the Secretary of State. There'd be people, if Kev Lyons is on watching tonight, I don't know.
I haven't seen him.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that it has to go out in front of. But anyway, it has the backing of everybody now. It has the backing of the residents, and the only people that vetoed it were obviously a few Charlton fans, probably a couple of Watford fans, and some strange fellow in Scotland. Yeah, it was a Brighton fan living in Scotland, I think.
Oh, was it? Anyway, there was a couple of them living in Worthing as well.
Yeah, but anyway, so it's full steam ahead for that. So I'm much looking forward to seeing that. I think it's a couple of years. It's probably, to be honest with you, it's probably won't start to the end of next season, I don't think, and then it'll be a couple of years. So so we're 3 years away from it.
Yeah.
So exciting times, and it will take our. Yeah, it will take our capacity up, another few thousand, and give us, I think there's other stuff as well going into, in the pipeline. Obviously, the triangle that goes from Block B to, and talking about Lions, and then Ian Lyons comes on. So we need your brother. I think the gap's being filled in between the Arthur and Block B or Block A or whatever it is.
Was it
HF? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have heard that they're going.
Well, I don't understand that because the Arthur overhangs so heavily. So anybody that's sitting up in the back of the Holmesdale on that corner, in other words, where the white TV box is at the moment, I don't understand how they'll be able to view that. And by the way, 72, just now 74 people watching. Good evening. Thank you, every single one of you.
Well, I mean, everything's possible, isn't it? So, but I mean, you know, you could probably get another 1,000 seats in there easily. So I'll be amazed if we don't, if we don't do something with that. I mean, it's just dead space, and in football, you know, you can't have dead space. Dead space is money, and we need all the money we can. So.
And Gary's saying it's the same mob that built the Liverpool stand. Okay, and it's basically called, and you're right, mate, it is architects of KSS. The builders are going to build as what's called a wraparound. So they build the outside structure, okay, leaving the old stand as it is. Then once that's complete, they'll move the old stand customers upstairs into the new stand, and then do the work on the old bit underneath. And it's just going to be wonderful. Go on.
Yeah, go on.
Questions from the audience. Here we go. Mark Easton wants to know, I know Joel Ward has been out injured and is a bit rusty, but surely the future has got to be Aaron Bissaka. He was lacking time and time again yesterday. Do you agree? And Les, on the same subject, Les Fuller's asking the question, how do we see the future for Joel Ward after yesterday's performance?
Does he want to be a number 2 to Aaron Bissaka next year?
Because that's what it'll be, and I agree.
Well, it has to be. We have to have 2 positions for every, you know, we have to have two players for every position. So what Wardy will have to do is he'll have to raise his game. That's what he'll have to do. I mean, the kid's raised his game. At the moment, he is by far the, you know, I think he's by far the better player at the moment. So, and I think he, you know, as Ian just said, I think he has to play the last few games. So,
question.
Well, Paul Carew said, "Will Roy stay or go?" I think he'll stay. Yeah. This is a.
John Knox has just asked the same question. So John Knox has actually asked you 3 questions, Jill. Okay, will Roy stay? Okay, if Benteke go on.
Andrew Varley's got a more valid question here, only because it's been. But he said, "Does anyone know about Gator going to Atletico Madrid?" No, he won't be going to Atletico Madrid because he has we have got a contract with him. So, you know, it's as simple as that. He you know, not only we signed the contract, he signed the contract as well to come to us next season. There was a get out clause of it that if we go down, then he doesn't have to come.
Correct.
But we aren't going down, so he has to come. That's it now. He's signed his life away, and Roy's probably learning Spanish as we speak. So, right,
I've got another one for you.
So, Max E.G. Francis is, I think, Walder's lost his confidence because Bissaka and Fosu-Mensah have been taking his position. Also agree that he should play in the last few games, depending on how crucial they are. Well, every game's crucial, Max, but we can pretty much say that. See, the thing is that I forgot about Fosu-Mensah. Seems to have been. Has he even been in the squad? Has he been in the matchday squads?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would make us having 3 right backs, 3 by default, really. But I think that I'd like to sign Fosu-Mensah. I really would. I think that would be a fantastic buy for us. And if that did happen, then I think Ward would leave. Right. I think he'd go to a championship club.
I'm going to jump in because there's something really important somebody mentioned here, if you don't mind. Graham Wick. Great point, Graham. Okay, best point of the night. Can we mention Wayne Hennessy? His confidence due to stable centre-halves, Dean Kiley coming in as goalkeeper coach. Now, do you know, Graham, you've raised a point that I made a couple of weeks ago, that he will get his confidence once he's confident of the back 4 in front of him, okay? And it'll be exactly the same in reverse. I think they are both. Gel's disappeared for a minute. Gel, come back on when you can, mate. Your internet's just dropped out. I think it's exactly the same thing. And it's really important that somebody's done that. And I really am grateful for you, mate, for making that point. It's absolutely... He's really done very well over the last couple of weeks. And Troy Southgate has made a point that Atletico story has been rubbish by Dom Fifield, okay? So there you go. Right, I've got more questions when you're ready, big boy.
Andy Stacey said, what do you think they changed the names of Sellers Park to? I pretty much think that's a given. I think you know that we need to, if we've got away from sentimentality with players and stuff, then I think we could probably get away with. It would depend. You know, if someone's just going to give us £1 million a year to change the name of the stadium, then no. But if someone wants to come in with a huge, you know, like the Emirates and all the other JJB and whatever, you know, they're not getting 300 grand a year to change the name of their grounds. So as long as it's not just something ridiculous, as long as we're not going to, it's not going to be embarrassing, you know, something, you know, I don't know, whatever. Just as long as it's not an embarrassing product. So
Ashley, well, we'll do the naming rights in a minute. Ashley is asking, what about the Homesdale 9 flats pre-planning? I am aware of it. Yes, Ian, we can see what you've written, the Wilson Diver. Anyway, going back to the naming of the stands, I think they're renaming all of them. The Homesdale is going to be called the Holyoke Homesdale, I believe. The old stand is going to be Old Nick Philpott stand, and so on and so forth. No, I think they probably will do naming rights for the stand for sure.
There's a ring to it, isn't it? Holyoke's Homesdale.
Holyoke's Homesdale and Old Philpott. Of course it is. Instead of the old stand, it's Old Philpott stand. There you go. It all works. So, right, are we doing more?
Ellis has turned around and said, yeah. So Greg Ellis has turned around and said, what's the expectation now? Should we stay up? Do you think we have to go big or go home? Well, this is the thing. I think this is the season where it's the close season. I think is the one where the Gel Boys stand.
No, the real marketing board.
I think this is I think it's the season where we bin some of our very highly played, very mediocre players, and then get on with bringing some youth through. Do you know what? No. We'll do that. We'll do that on another show with the players that we think that should stay and the ones that should go. And that will do for another show. I'll tell you, because we need to allude to them again. Is Wolves for the last 2 years? I think Wolves have been buying up some of the best talent, the young talent in Europe.
You mentioned that on there before. You mentioned that here
really
before.
Good players. You know, I have. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. But anyway,
70 viewers.
Is it George Mendes? This super agent, this European super agent that Wolves have allied themselves with, and they have got, apparently, it's not just me saying it. Everybody behind the scenes in football. A couple of people that I know have turned around and said that they have got the most magnificent squad, and they should be giving people some ideas next year.
We've been talking about behind the scenes equipment and what our plans are to do. Do you think now's a good time?
Yeah, go on. Okay,
folks, as I'm waiting for the rest of you to join back up with us, okay, because there's obviously 13 of you out there. Tyler saying that we didn't drop back. Yeah, we're back. We're going to stay on for a few minutes to cover up for the lag. What we're planning on doing, folks, just so you're what Ben's talking to us in the private chat. Do you want to answer Ben while I'm telling him what we're planning to do, Jill? No, you're going to ignore him. Yes, we're back. Okay, so what we're planning on doing is we're considering a couple of options, but one of them being like a crowdfunding option, something like that. We don't know how we're going to go about it yet. We want to get some better equipment because we are reliant on the very narrow bandwidth of Facebook here to do these broadcasts. And you'll also be aware that on Facebook, we can only have 2 of us on at any given time. Since I've been talking in the last half an hour, 2 or 3 of you, and Stephen Isles is one of them, and he's just done it again, literally right now as I'm talking to you, has requested to join the show. Stephen, I want to bring you on. Okay, I want to bring you on. I would like to have a group discussion if we could, not just Nick and Gel. Okay, I know this is our show, but we're quite happy for one of us to drop off and bring another one of you on. But I'd rather we had a team environment. So if there's anybody out there that knows a way around it where we can actually do a broadcast on Facebook as we are now, but by bringing other people into the conversation, get in touch, okay? What we're planning on doing, but we're planning on buying some equipment to allow me to go out and do better quality interviews. with people around Selhurst Park and around the club.
He wants to buy a bigger house with a better back garden to do his PPP in it.
No, listen, garden furniture. I'm pissed off for standing up. That's what it is. But that's what we're planning on doing. We want to make this better and more interactive with you lot. This show is bugger all. We keep telling you this show is nothing without you lot, which is why we want you to like our Facebook page, which is why we like you to comment on our Facebook page. But for me to be able to, or Jill and I to go out and start interviewing people, we've got arrangement to go and see Vince Hilaire down in Portsmouth. But we need equipment. We need something to record on. We need a directional microphone. That's what we're going to be doing, okay? That's what we want to do going forward. And I want to do as much as I can with the big fella here, and I know he wants to do it with me. So I don't know how we go about it. Jill, your suggestions? Crowdfunding or what?
Ian Lyons, as you said, how about doing a Dear Jill section where we write in? A
problem page. A problem page.
I like that. Yeah,
a problem page.
Yeah, no. Like I say, everyone else is moving on with their stuff. Like we said, we need to try and keep this within Facebook. That's the whole idea, because this is a Palace Facebook area, and we don't want to take it out. So we really need to.
You can't see. Can you read that, or is that back to front for you?
I can't see anything. I can just.
Can I read it?
People.
Do you mind if I read it? I can see
some feet there. That was it. Go on.
Do you mind if I read this out? So this is Sean Feeney, our Ned, Stato Ned's charity football match, 2018, on behalf of the Freddie Farmer Foundation, and he's hosting this over, I believe it's in Bromley, on the 26th of May. He's managing one team, but he has a Just Giving page, okay? And what I want to show you, what I was trying to point out to you people, that his target was 1,500 quid. Bless him, at the moment he's got 97 quid. Okay, so if there's anything we could do out there, anybody wants to donate, go to his Just Giving page. If you just type in Just Giving Freddie Farmer Foundation, helping disabled children, it'll sort it out. Paul Carew saying, our gel can be the agony aunt. Yeah, well, he could have his own problem page, couldn't he? Dear Gel.
Uncle. Agony uncle.
No, mate.
Uncle Gel sounds a little bit too come and sit on your knee, doesn't it? Let's not go there.
Yeah, we'll leave that to Sean.
Anyway, yeah, give some money to Sean's Just Giving thing for the Freddie Farmer Foundation, because it is anything that I put a tweet up earlier, and I said I've nothing but admiration for people that have run the London Marathon today. I know a couple of people personally, and they've raised money, and it's all for mainly children these days. So just had the most awful.
Dear Jill, can you fix
Ian Lyons
it for me?
said, yeah. Dear Jill, can you fix it for me? There's a lot of them now. Look, Troy. Dear Jill, I'm heartbroken because my centre forward hasn't been playing away. It's looking a little bit scary now. Yeah.
Jill, you dropped up again. You're on your bloody internet. Right, okay. Jill wants to be back on my video. Oh, come on in, Jill. Would you please stop dropping off, man? Right, okay. To milk a cow blindfolded. Can I sit on the arm of your chair? What, with my jelly babies? You want to sit on the arm of my chair with the jelly babies? Right, questions. Let's get back to the questions. If Benteke goes in the summer, who should the club go for? And has there been any news on the new kits?
Callum Wilson, for me. Callum Wilson. Then we'll have Surloff. And hopefully one day we might get our broken striker back. But yeah, I would hope we could go for someone like Callum Wilson. I really think he would do well for us. And then if not, then I think we can try and pick off some of the Southampton strikers, or Charlie Austin, Shane Long. There's a few out there. you know, I'd like to be honest, I'd like a striker who's you know, fairly. I've said it for ages. I say again, I think Rondon would score for us, and he's got a great header yesterday, a near post header, and he does. He really does get across the near post, and that's the thing. We haven't had a striker since AJ. Wrighty used to do it. You know, we're talking 30 years ago. You know, we really need to. We can't have Ashley Barnes. He will hate. I hate him. He's just.
What about Shaqiri? What about Shaqiri?
I'd like him, but the more I look at him, you know, the last sort of month or so, I've slightly changed my mind. He is a luxury player. He really is. But, you know, what a number. You know, he purely is a 10, isn't he? He is.
Summer Kirsten, you're winding us up. Stop causing shit, Summer. I saw what you wrote. You said Glenn Murray.
Yeah. Kevin Lyons has just said that Ings is in our mould. Yeah, Danny Ings is good. But yeah,
you know what I did with my mobile phone? I've lost my phone. That's what I'm looking for. More questions from the audience. Steve Richardson. Hello, Steve. Thank you for contacting the show. Although we haven't had a prolific striker this season, do you guys think we can actually play a full season without a target man, or do you think Surloff will step up to the plate?
Is he a target man? Is Surloff a target man?
I don't believe so.
Sort of to me, he looks like a left-sided pair of 4-4-2. I'd see what is good. I think this 4-4-2 that we've been playing. I think Roy likes it, and he did say something last week. He said that after he changed it against Brighton and put us under, when he went back to 4-5-1, he turned around and said in the interview after that he said he didn't think that he was going to leave it up to the players and choose what they wanted, whether they wanted 4-4-2 or 4-5-1. Well, we've straight away we've got gone back to 4-4-2. So, you know, if he is talking that he does answer the players, then that is it. So, clone Tompkins and stick his double up front. Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah. Right, I've got a difficult one here, so you have to forgive me. Now, this is a message for a bloke called Ben, not our Ben. Your surname is Agbaimoni. Agaboni, mate, however you say your surname, my sincere apologies. Is there an issue, Gel, with the training methods, the actual pitch surface, or the recovery processes at our training ground that could be the underlying factor as to why we've had so many injuries this season?
Good
question, eh?
That's a good question. Yeah, there might be something in it. There might be something in it. I mean, it's the other thing as well. They play on a lot of dry surfaces over there, 3G and, you know, AstroTurf completely. And I bet the pitches aren't watered yet. The pitches they play on every week are watered all the time. So if they turn on a pitch at Selhurst Park, chances are their studs are going to turn into the pitch.
But if it was as simple as that, they would have worked it out by now. And what people forget is when we had
it's our club, mate. It's our club. You don't work anything out until it's too late, usually.
Well, people also forget that surface that they're playing on over at Beckenham is Selhurst Park. Now, what am I talking about?
The old Selhurst Park.
Well, when we had the undersoil heating,
that was an unlucky pitch for us, though.
Well, it clearly is now.
Yeah.
But it's when we had the undersoil heating put in at Selhurst Park, that was dug up and literally transferred over by lorry to Beckenham, which is what they're training on now. So I don't see that there can be a correlation to it. You know, dry pitches, wet pitches seems to be coming out. Even Sean Dyche was talking about dry pitches. And who else was it? One of the other managers was talking about it yesterday. So there's obviously an issue with this dry weather, but we've had these injuries all season, so it can't be anything to do with that. Gel's left us again once more, so I'll keep pushing your button, Gel, and here he comes. I'm going to get you hardwired in here, Gel, if it kills me. And here he comes. Right. Assuming you can hear me, Jill, while I'm asking you the question. So I think that, in fact, we've got to the... Right, so I've got the same question here twice. So any other questions from the audience? Benteke was injured. Carl Davis is saying, when was Benteke injured? Well, for the last 3 months. That's why he hasn't scored any goals. Is that it, Carl? Carl, do you want to come on and tell us about your day at Wembley today? Feel free to do so. And Jill's about to drop out any second now, so if you do fancy drop... That was a bitchy comment, wasn't it? How bitchy was that?
I might have to try and move my breakfast bar right in front of my internet. In
front of your router. Klopp, it was Klopp that had issues. Michael's right. It was Klopp that had issues with it. Hello, Dave Allen. Nice to see you, mate. Mickey Philpott, how are you doing, mate? Thank you for coming. We've dropped out 3 or 4 times. We've still got 43 people want to say. Jill, can you leave your hands where we can see them? It's unnerving, says Ian Lyons.
I'm just going to ignore him.
Leslie says, can we see Suarez coming back to the first team? Yeah, not this season, Mr. Fuller, but I can see him next season for sure. Don't see why not. And Ian's saying, no, we can't. Come on and tell us why, mate. Request to join the show, and I'll kick him off, and then you can come on and tell us why you don't think he can do.
Greg Ellis said any word on a new kit manufacturer? No.
Over to you.
I don't know. Is it Nike? Adidas? Won't do, will it? We'll just end up with some kit that no one else has ever heard of. Buxer, probably. The old 1990s make, if they're still about.
Who?
No, I don't. Do you remember Buxer? Is it Bukta?
Oh yeah, okay.
Is it some kids and said Puma?
Go on.
And so is Richard and John Ellicott. Everyone's saying Puma. So,
do you boys know that for sure?
No.
John
Ellicott, everyone's saying.
John, jump on, mate.
Everyone's saying it. He's in the hospital and the internet's crap.
Oh, he's having his tablets, is he?
Primark. Troy.
Primark Croydon. Sponsored by Primark.
Imagine that. Kit would be about £6 though for a top. That'd be good. It'd sell loads. I'd get all 3. And if they come in 5XL though. Like this sports mode as well.
How can you tell me, John Ellicott's asking to come on. How can you tell me that wasn't a penalty? That was the first one.
I know, it's just ridiculous.
Right, I've got a couple of thank yous to make. I've got thank you for Stato Ned, because I'm going to bring you off in a second, yeah, because he wants to come on. I want to thank Ben for sorting out. No, John. Thank you, Carl, for your notes from this evening, mate. Because before you joined us, I did use some of them. So thanks for that, mate. I really appreciate it. Jill, I know today's been particularly difficult for you. And me and 70 other people out there are very grateful because this show wouldn't be the same without you. I would never want to do this show without you being around. So thank you for joining us, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
John Ellicott, if you are there, okay, push your button now because Jill's going to... No, not that button. That's another button.
Ian Lyons said if it was Primark, we'd buy an adult one and end up with a kids one after the first wash.
Yeah. John's saying he can come on. I'm not busy, John just said. Come and join us, John. Come and have 5 minutes on here. John, he's
always busy. He's always busy.
Jill, you're getting lots of claps, mate. I don't know if you can see them.
Thanks, Uncle Jill. Yeah.
See you later, mate. Log off, mate. Close off.
Yeah. See you later.
Go on, buddy. Ta-ra, mate. John, come on, mate.
You ain't going anywhere at the moment. Jill, I'm trying.
Push your button, you donut. Right, John, coming to get you. John, do your request again, please, mate. Jill and Phil. Some of you say, love the show, Jill and Phil. But Phil's my surname. Nick's my name. Am I going to have to come out and sort you out? Jill, John, request to come on, mate, please. Because I'm waiting to accept you on. And here he comes. Come on, John boy. Come and entertain the troops. And he's just coming on now for those of you who can't see him. Guys, welcome. Hello, John. Mate. Here comes John Ellicott from our hospital in central London. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. How you doing? You all right?
I'm all right. But I've got to tell you, your picture is appalling.
I can imagine. The internet here is absolutely useless.
God, you look as though you're on dial-up, mate.
Oh, gosh. I thought it would be like this. It is really terrible. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Right, while John is struggling through his internet, everybody, if there's anybody else who'd like to come on and say hello in the last 5 minutes of the show, feel free to put your request in now, and I can see the request, but John can't. Okay. So, John, did you see the game yesterday?
I did watch the game. Obviously with Charlie here, so it's difficult. I watched most of it. In short, I thought we needed some strength up front. That's why I said in group chat quite a bit that Benteke should have come on. I know that Gill's not too happy with the idea of Benteke playing yesterday. I just tried out for him. So I just felt we were being bullied the first half. Joel Ward on the right-hand side was a liability. I didn't think he was on the pitch for the last 12 minutes. He was absolutely appalling. Don't know why Sarkis been dropped, because I thought, to be fair, we got Pereira, and Pereira had pace on him, and Aaron would have been fantastic in that position.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, John. We agree.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why Ward was there. I don't understand why he was playing. But again, that's up to Roy. I mean, Roy has obviously good experience on that side. I've seen a lot of comments about Hennessy. I thought he had a good game yesterday. I don't think he had a bad last few games, actually. Quite well.
Correct. Not had any negative comments about Hennessy all night tonight. Good to see.
I mean, it's a fact of I think the big problem for me is if you're playing the two up front in Wilf and Townsend, they need to be playing as inside forwards. I think I said earlier to somebody else that what I believe we should be doing is playing Benteke just behind. You know that false nine position we had Loftus-Cheek playing? Well, I think if we played Benteke there and played Wilf and Townsend off of him, that would be a better option rather than playing him as an out-and-out striker. I just think as a target man, he's brilliant on the ball. I know I'm going to get an awful lot of.
Are you reading
comments.
that?
Yeah. This is when John's face. Yeah, I've seen that, Troy. Thanks very much, mate. But it's I do think that Benteke would have been a better player. I know you were saying off, but yeah.
Stephen, you've been requested to come on the show all night. Is there still a point you wanted to make? If there is, push your button so I can bin off the photo fit man because he's obviously his internet's crap. So Stephen, if you're still there and you want to do what?
I'm trying to see if I can get this the internet a bit better. It's been. I will be honest. We were sort of on the 11th floor of the hospital, and it's the internet has been driving Charlie crazy. We came in here earlier, and he's not worried about his tumour being had out or anything like that. He's worried more about the internet. So it's going to be the internet here.
Frank Roberts is just asking the question. Hi guys, what's the price for Palace to stay up? We were 40-1 on when at the start of the show when somebody else put it on there. So I think the chances of going down they'll be huge now. So. It's got to be better than the Oldham. What year was the Oldham debacle, John? You probably remember it off the top of your head. You're pretty good at things like that.
I can't hear things you're saying.
John, why don't you jump off?
What's the question? Is it lines of
Oldham? What year was the Oldham debacle?
Oh gosh, my internet connection. I think I got the gist of it. I'm just going to give a guess. I think you were talking along the lines of, are we going to stay up? I don't know if that's what you're saying, but I would say yeah. And I still think we need one more win. I know there's a lot of people saying that they're confident we're staying. This is going to be a nightmare. I know. I'm just literally, yeah. I think we're going to stay up. But we need one more win.
1993 was the answer to the question, Russell. Well done, that man. John, in case you can't see it, Ian says, try popping a coat hanger on your head, mate. It might improve your reception a bit.
You know something? I think a word of that. Guys,
Paul, you're right, mate.
I tell you, the connection is terrible. I'm going to have to drop out, but I do apologise. But as I say, the internet really is bad. But
well, it's been a few weeks since you and I have been on together, mate. So nice to see you. Give my love to Charlie. Look after him. And John, we miss you on the station. So get your ass back on here. We need you back on here, yeah?
Right, cheers, guys. I'll say thanks, Nick. All I can hear is it's a bit like Duncan Norville right now. If you remember Duncan Norville, in and out, I can't understand a word. But anyway,
all right.
Thanks,
push
guys,
your button, mate.
Say Charlie's all right, so I'll just show you quickly. He's just, if I can turn it, there he is. Say hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
So yeah, we just transferred here today. So as I say, he's not too happy about the internet, but neither can't do much about that. So anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to go. So if you want to get someone else on, Nick, do so. All right, mate.
All right, mate. Anybody else want to join me? Now's a good time because John's just logging off, and I'm going to wrap the show up very shortly. So anybody else want to pop on there for a minute? We've been going for an hour and a half. I'll leave it for a couple of seconds. There's still 41 of you on there. Thank you for joining me. We love doing this. We want to take this on to the next level for you. Please get onto our Twitter page. Okay, Carl Davis is coming on. Carl, come and join me, mate. It'd be lovely to see you. And when he gets here, Carl, folks, just to let you know, I'm actually when he gets here, I'm going to tell you something. Okay, he'll be with me any second in there. Carl has been at Wembley today. He was actually coming on to the show to cover for Gel this evening, but for some reason he's not coming on. Carl, I'm trying to approve you now. Come on, mate. Come and join us. Kev, nice to see you, mate. Kevin Weaver. One day we will bump into each other at Sellers. I promise you, mate. And it would be great to see it. And we need to have that pint. We keep talking about it. Hope your family had a lovely holiday. I'm still waiting for Carl to join us. Right. While I'm waiting for Carl to actually show his face, that there wasn't written by me. I read some of it out at the top of the show. It was written by Carl on our page. He does quite a regular update on the end of the game. He goes to so many matches, but he also found the time to send that. Okay, and I nicked it off him and used it at the top of the show, and it made for great reading. Carl, do it one more time, mate, and we'll see if we can get it right. Do one more request, and I'll see if I can get you on there. So very well written. It was a brief summary about the game yesterday. 4-4-2, Ward versus Aaron Basaka. I've seen your request, mate, and if it doesn't, see if this works. And it was very, very well written, but for some reason, mate, I can see it's trying to add you, but it's not bringing you on. Are you there? Here he is.
Hello.
Hello, buddy.
Murray-esque.
Yeah, Murray-esque. What was that? What was the? Can you answer me a question? This is completely unrehearsed. I know that, but what was that for Andy Johnson?
I don't know. I see him every now and then. I will ask him. I mean, I'm some form of celebrity, and he evidently lives not so far from me. So every now and then I see him walking around. I will ask him.
I always used to call it the burger celebration.
Yeah,
I never knew what it was for. What was it? There must have been a reason behind it. And the other one, I don't know what it is what Jill was referring to earlier, was the Benteke knee slap. What was that all about?
That was out of basketball. I don't know what it was about, but it was. I don't really do basketball, but there was some cool basketball player who did it, and therefore it came a thing, a little bit like the dab. And the flossing came out of NFL.
Well, folks, those of you who don't know, Carl Davis, he's already been on the show with me once before. He's known as Carl_Babs on Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow. Okay, the bloke, he's got more talent in his right finger than I've got my entire body. This was written. I don't know if you saw earlier at the beginning, top of the show, mate. This is what you wrote. This is your review that I nicked. I nicked it at the top of the show. It was superbly written, and you make my life an awful lot easier by doing it. Hang on, here's the answer. Troy's got the answer. The burger thing was in relation to a joke he had with one of the training ground staff who liked eating them. Is that it?
Anything goes. I tell you what, shows there was some camaraderie. Hey, with regards to my, I'm going to try and write something on the Facebook page after every game, and and I'm not the most articulate, so it's mostly from the heart. But that's how I see the game, and I try and do that on the way back after every game.
Mate, I'll tell you, it was fantastic, honestly. And because I wasn't too sure who was going to be on with me because the gels issues today and the fact that you were at Wembley and everything else, which we'll come on to in a minute, it was one of those things where it was great research for me, but it was so intense. You covered the whole game basically in an A4 bit of paper, thank you very much. So tell me about your day at Wembley. You've been at Wembley today. Did you go to Wembley yesterday?
I get paid for today. Look, the company's got a box at Wembley, so I wasn't slumming it. It was free, it was empty, and so I invited a number of Chelsea and Southampton fans who were good company, and that was it. So I didn't know what to go into. Look, it was nice to go to a game and completely relaxed. I must admit, I spent a decent chunk of it looking at how Swansea were getting on, how Stoke was getting on, how how West Ham was getting on.
I've been watching it on the old afternoon. Yeah,
there were a lot of cheers going on, and they all turned out well. And the other thing that I was hoping for, I guess, was I didn't want Southampton to win just because of I've got no love of Chelsea. I didn't want them to build any confidence, and that's it's always been a chunk of my worry that there might be one. You look at some of their individual parts, and they look pretty strong. Now, they can't have any belief in Mark Houston. I don't want them to get any in the next month or so. So, again, I walked back to the station, all round by all the Southampton fans, and they're all moaning about Alex McCarthy. And, you keep
I've been there, done that one.
Yeah, you keep it going.
It's funny you should say that about not wanting Southampton to win. There's a part of me, while I was watching the game live this afternoon, and my son Matt's out there, Alan Matt, a part of me disagrees with what you said. And I'll tell you for why. There's a part of me thinking, actually, do you know what? I would like them to score an equaliser, okay, go into extra time and have to play penalties, okay, because it doesn't go to a replay anymore, does it?
Yeah.
The point, they get tired for the next game and all the rest of it. So that was my thought process on it.
They're off for a week. There's no midweek because it's Champions League week, so they haven't got a game in. So I must admit, I'd have thought about that. But look, hey, the die's cast now. They've got no cup to worry on. I was listening to their fans. I mean, they've broken it down to they think they need to. They can't see a way out of this unless they've got Bournemouth next Saturday, and then they've got Swansea to play. So in their mind,
I was looking for me. So who have they got? I was just looking for my notes.
So they've got Bournemouth next. They've got Man City last day of the season. So, but in between all of that, they've got Swansea. So they're in their minds they are, and they're only 4 points behind Swansea, and I think they've got better goal difference. So they're if they can beat Bournemouth, then they're into a knockout game in their mind versus Swansea. The bit I have to remind a couple of them, Swansea's still got Stoke.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
so
hey, look.
I said 35. It was 3 months ago. I said 35 points will keep us up. We're there now. What, in your mind's eye, what do you think we need?
Yeah, look, I said exactly the same. So I think I said after about the first month, I thought 35, 36 would keep us up. I think 35 a good goal difference. I think we're there really, but I do remember 93. As I tweeted out yesterday, I was reminded of it. During the week, on the way back from Man City. So what was that? 6 games in, 6 straight defeats, hadn't scored a goal. I tweeted out, would you take 34 points now? Come the end of the season, and I can't remember the exact percentage, but it was 80-something% of the people came back and said yes, I would. And you know what? I've got a sneaking feeling probably 34 to keep somebody up. And unless Liverpool get legged over by Stoke and you get a couple of the surprise results in, it should be there or thereabouts. All the teams below us are averaging less than a point a game, and there's only 3 or 4 games left, so they should by rights only be getting.
You can see Paul's question saying Huddersfield still in danger? ?
Yeah, they are. But do you know what? Even Huddersfield are probably looking at it going, I might not need another point. Literally, I think with Southampton, Swansea, and Stoke gonna have to play each other. They're not all going to win that week, and by the same token, they're not all going to lose. So as long as you don't have all of them picking up 3 points out of it, and then somebody pulling out a surprise, i.e., you know, the Stoke winning at Liverpool or Man City getting legged over at the last day of the season at Southampton. I think, you know, for us, it's I would imagine if we don't lose to Leicester, it'll sort itself out next weekend because of one of the other ones will lose, and we'll be in a situation whereby we probably won't even need the point against Stoke and can afford to lose to them. That said, you know.
So you're three to go down are as they are now. Is that what you're saying?
I think they are. I think that was a massive win last week for Huddersfield. A massive win. You know, if we had a brilliant weekend because we beat our rivals, plus we chucked 3 points on us. They had one shot on target, was in the 94th minute or whatever it was, and they picked up 3 points, and they've got the worst running of the lot. I mean, they've got Everton on, I think, next weekend, and then apart from that, they're against all of the top 6.
Ian's saying 37 is the average survival line over the last 10 years. So 37's got to be our target.
Not had a team though get 100 points though ever, and that's the difference out of this. You've got a big chunk of points being taken by one club at the top, and even the team in second and third have got more points than normally get second and third. So you know, there's only ever a set amount of points, and and West Brom are going to end up with not a dissimilar amount of points until Sunderland last year. So, yeah, look, I think 37, I think, have been proved very, very, very safe. But yeah, again, I do a lot around statistics, so it's you work on averages, and I'm saying, you know, 37, I feel very, very comfortable with. I think we've looked back at it and at the end, come the end of the last day and look at it and find out 34, 35 was fine.
Mate, I just realised it's 8:45. We've been going for nearly 2 hours. Good, I know we've dropped out. Do you realise there's still 37 people watching you? So they clearly love you.
They're all going, I can't believe he's got that big a double chin.
He's got more chins than the Chinese telephone directory, I know.
Yeah.
Old but funny. Mate, listen, so what are your movements this week?
I've got big week at work. I did 5 games in the last 7 days. I'm not convinced I'll do anything until we get to the Leicester game. I'm not sure I'll sneak a game in. If anybody wants to find out if I do, if anybody's, you know, I am sad, but if anybody wants to follow my sad football existence, I post them all up on Instagram. So that's Carl_unofficial. So you can have a follow me on there. But yeah, big week of work. Big week of work.
Okay, so Ian's come back and said, with the others around is playing each other, they'll take points off one another, and I think that's the point you were making, isn't it?
It's a bit more articulate there. Yeah.
But so what you're actually saying, in a nutshell, is we're safe, yeah?
I think we are. Honestly, I think we are. I woke up this morning thinking that, well, yes, you know, I woke up this morning thinking, look, we should be fine. And then you're within 10 minutes into the game started, or I've got the alert come through, the Stoke are beating Burnley, and suddenly you're going, you know, here we go. You're all nervy again. The weekend's results have played out really well for us. You know, we've gained another point where many of the teams below us haven't. At best, people have equalled us. We've got a better running than most. No, I think we should be fine. I won't relax though until mathematically.
I'd like your thoughts before I let you go on the planning permission this week.
Yeah, brilliant. There's a certain owner who I swapped texts with, and as he quite rightly said, look, I think he's very proud of what everybody's achieved so far. We've still got to build the bloody thing, and that was an exact quote. And I think that's the next bit, which is obviously they've got some money to go raise. They got the and then they've got to get the final bit, the planning permission done. But I'm not saying that's a formality, but by rights, once the council had approved it, it'd be, you know, it shouldn't get any further knockbacks. They've got to go out, I'm assuming, to the city, raise some money, and then get going on the thing. But look, it'd be if we can stay up and we get that stand opened and the income stream comes, it's a game changer. Honestly, it's a game changer. When you look at the maths, I've said it for a little while, the maths don't add up with our football club. We've got too high a percentage of our total income tied up in our wage bill. Anybody who's thinking we're going to go and make loads of big signings over the summer, we're not unless they can relinquish some of that wage bill. I'm pretty sure there's players they'd really like to keep at the club, but at the moment they can't. Otherwise, they can't bring players in. That's why you haven't seen contract offers for Jimmy Mack, etc., etc., etc. And you know, I think what the new stand will give us is, you know, a step up above probably 6 or 7 other clubs, i.e. the clubs that will be coming up, and 3 or 4 others who, you know, are perennially down the bottom as well. And you get a chance to really establish yourself as a season seats, you know, season in, season out, mid-table to, you know, get around the 10th to 7th in the Premier League era. And that's, you know, we've never ever been there. We might have flirted up there every now and then, but we've never been a sustainable club for that. So,
Ian just asked you a question. Does anybody know when it goes to Khan for his agreement?
I would assume it's no. I personally don't. I would assume it's in about the next 3 months. If you look at how long it took from the Merton Council approving Wimbledon for it to go into Khan, it was 3 months. So I'm assuming that. But again, I know that's not a delay, is it? Because they'll be out there. They've got the assumption they're going now, so they'll be out there trying to secure the money.
I've got 2 last questions for you. First, I want to talk about Russia very quickly. Okay, and if you were a betting man, when would the first shovel go in the ground at Selhurst Park?
Oh, good question. Back end of this year.
Interesting.
I reckon back end of this year. I think we're seeing the first bits of. They've got to do a whole load of clearance and all of that. But we'll probably find out now in the Palace thing. Way Palace do things. We've probably got the portal cabins as listed, and they'd have to be preserved.
Yeah, reference Simon Jordan. Yeah, probably. So for those that didn't join us for the last time, tell them where you're going in the summer, and how many games you're likely to see.
Yeah, look, I'm doing Russia, so I'm only doing the England games as stands anyway. So I'm first off, I'm off to Volgograd and go see England, Tunisia, and then I'm out. I'm taking the lad. I'm coming back, collecting him, taking the lad, and taking him out to Nizhny Novgorod, Stalingrad as was known. Out there for a decent chunk of time, and hopefully on that game it's at a weekend, so I'm hoping I can get some form of internet connection and join you guys, which would be great.
You have just preempted my next question, sir, because Gel, as you know, we've decided we're going to do a couple of shows. There's going to be one, I'm telling you now, where Gel won't need to be on, or I can't do it. Would you come and join us and do a show live from Russia? I'd love to.
Yeah, love to, absolutely love to. And but ideally not the Kaliningrad one, because we've got 44 of us on a coach from Gdansk into Kaliningrad for that one. It will be liquid.
Yeah, good. Okay, well that might make it even more interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been in the company of the wonderful, knowledgeable Carl _Babs on Twitter, or Carl Davis is his real name, mate. As always, what can I say? Thank you.
Been emotional. Great show, guys.
Look after yourself, mate, and I'll talk to you soon about the Russia one, yeah?
Cheers, bye.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching